Okay, we're gonna need to hear more about this gourmet sex because this sounds delightful. And now I'm questioning what level of sex I've been having. What kind of orgasm? Has it been French fries? Or am I having the perfect steak? I don't know, Rene. Now I need to know what I am missing. So please tell us more.
Okay, so yeah, so that's that gourmet sex, and that's what I've referred to it as for years. Fast food versus gourmet. What are you
Mhm.
having? Right? And that's probably what I said in that class. Who knows? We're going to do a partial class right now. So, gourmet sex is the kind of sex that it fulfills you physically, emotionally, spiritually. You can just ride that orgasmic wave for like a week, but you want more. So it's not that just quick hit, yeah, I got something, okay, and then you're just a little agitated and something's off because it's like it's the French fries, right? It's like there's something off. Yeah, I put food in my stomach, but there's something off. Maybe the oil was rancid. I don't know, right? Right? Like, I don't know. Too much salt, whatever. But other things can be salty too.
Hello.
That could be a whole nother conversation.
Right? That's so
But gourmet sex, yeah,
no,
go
I think
ahead.
that's so interesting. So I will admit to being a tired mom who works full time, and I do in my head calculate when the last time we had sex was, and try to make sure that we're like on a weekly basis keeping things going, keeping things alive. And I think I am doing that for the better of our relationship, to make sure that there's some connectivity. I feel more connected to him when we have sex. I know he does as well. There's more interaction outside of the bedroom when we are more regular about it. But I know I'm doing that. I know it's like a, and I hate to say that it's a box to check because I know that's like the wrong thing to say, but I also know that I'm working towards that. I'm an overachiever at heart, and I'm like I've got to make sure that I'm keeping him happy and keeping us going, and all of that. So but when we do have sex, like I'll try to have more than just the fries. Like it'll be maybe 3 orders of fries. So maybe that helps, but I also I know in the back of my head that it's like something we should do. So there's that. And we don't have a lot of time with 3 little ones to like really take the time to deep dive, but I don't know, maybe we need to kind of change things up.
So here's the basics, okay? Because you just sounded like somebody who's sitting on my couch over here. Like, uh-huh, uh-huh, okay.
Like you've heard this before?
I've been it before. I've been it before.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's like been there, done that. Um, yeah, so really good sex for a woman, it takes a woman's vaginal lining, her G spot, her cervix, and let's just focus in on that G spot that many women think doesn't exist. Doctors are still debating about it, and our science around the G spot is younger than the internet. So,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, little known fact, right? Like,
Wow.
there you go, tidbit there. We have less research around the female G spot than we have had around Wi-Fi. Like, Wi-Fi has been around longer. And before that, it was like, women don't have it. It's fake. It's blah, 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 right? And there's still some doctors that prescribe to that. But we do have a G spot, and it's very important. It's located right on the other side of your clit. So if you touch your clit with your pointer finger and you touch your clit with your thumb and you put your pointer finger inside and you just do a come hither
Mm.
motion, With that pointer finger, oh, you're going to find your G spot. The problem with the G spot is for most of us women, it is numb or it's got bogged down by trauma. Okay. And trauma doesn't necessarily mean that you've been through some horrific event. It can be microscopic little things. It was your parents yelling at you when you were 3. It was, you had a horrible heartbreak at 14. You were in a car accident. You lost a job. That's all traumas. Okay. So different things get stored up in our pelvises, in our G spot, especially. And in order to break through, for a woman to really have a good G spot orgasm, number one, yes, you have to pay attention to the clit. Okay. That is a nerve activator. Okay. So it's just like it zaps everything into motion. We normally just focus on that though. You get into the G spot, it takes 20 to 40 minutes. 20 to 40 minutes of conscious touch, fingers, toy, or penis, to focus on it.
Okay.
The average couple has sex for 6 to 10 minutes with 0 foreplay. The average man lasts 2 minutes.
Hey,
after
hang easy,
penetration.
easy.
So what's
on the
interesting,
average.
Renee, I'll bring up things like this, like, just the exact same things you're talking about. And whether it's my wife or Addy, they're like, hey man, we're a moms. We ain't got more than 5-10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Right, there are
What is wrong
three
with you?
spins of the ceiling fan.
Right. Exactly. So they look at me like I'm crazy, but I've seen it, so I know it's worth it. I'm still chasing what I've seen, and I'm just like, so I'm hoping to make that a reality one
20
day.
to 40 minutes. And the cervix, there's the cervical orgasm too. I wrote an article called The Elusive Female Orgasm. And at that point in time, I had discovered 13 different orgasm types for us women. 13.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And
All right, name them. Go.
Conversation. I'm not going to.
We'll put the article in our show notes.
I can give you the link.
Yeah.
I can give you the link. You can read through it.
It's amazing,
Like I said, there's a lot of content on my website. But the cervical orgasm, yeah.
So before we move on, let me just go back to this G-spot orgasm. So what you're saying is I should manually stimulate her G-spot for about 20 minutes, and then her head will explode. Is that what you're saying?
20 minutes into intentional
Get
touch.
in there with your mouth, your fingers, until she's begging you.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely begging you.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saying
That's what needs
that
to happen.
a woman can come just from rubbing the G-spot? Or that just goes along
heck
with
yes.
you saying yes, yeah?
Yes, most certainly. And so that's that deeper, richer orgasm. There's a warming effect that you get from it. And the muscles kind of relax and you lose full control of your limbs, your heart rhythm. There's going to be a complete flushing of the face, of the chest, of the breasts. It's just like it's the feeling of kind of dropping into a warm bath. And you've got really tight muscles, and just that, like, you get into the hot tub and you're just like, yeah, and you've already had a glass of wine, and you're like, yeah, this is good, and you're in the best tropical location that you can imagine, and it's like, yeah,
You're really selling it.
right?
For someone like
I can sell orgasm.
for like the dumb guy that's listening, are you saying just get in there with your finger and rub for a long time, or what do you recommend?
2 fingers, always 2 fingers.
Uh-huh.
Ask about 3, but always 2 fingers. 1 finger, seriously, what is this going to do?
Okay.
This is a pencil. Come on.
She's like
Fair.
amateur.
But it's not simply just insert and go for 20 minutes.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a lot more intensive.
And it's not
than
this.
everything else.
It's not in and out. Okay, we're not like trying to poke something.
Mhm.
Okay, It is come hither.
Yeah.
Okay, come hither.
Mhm.
And apply the thumb to the clit at the same time if you would like to speed up the process.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So for
So,
female
yeah,
orgasm
that
class, I saw this in action, and it was like Rene
there were
played
live demos.
the demo.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
I mean,
What?
Was I the model?
No. You were the giver. The
Oh,
model.
I was
I'm
going.
not gonna name who it was.
It's like, oh my god.
You played her like an instrument for
Like you
like
saw
an
me naked.
hour.
Okay, great.
I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, it was just insane. So I've been chasing this for years. Like, but Reagan does prefer my fingers now to anything else after watching this demo.
Were there waterworks involved with this demo?
I'm gonna let Rene talk about this because it was.
I don't know. Were there
Oh,
waterworks?
yeah, she may not remember.
There wasn't in this one,
I mean,
but
I had a special class running for years. That was the squirt class.
I didn't go to that
So
one. But
I had a
would.
fisting class. I had a squirt class. I had a summer orgasm camp.
This
Oh
was
my
the
God.
summer orgasm
Yeah,
with the female.
it's an annual thing,
yeah.
right?
Exactly. It was amazing. I
had
tried
my
to get
regulars
Reagan to
that
go. Reagan wouldn't go, but if
Yeah,
she
Reagan's
had,
like,
she would
nah.
know where I was. She went to the oral sex class with me and just
That's
but
fun.
the female.
Did we have
orgasm
live
was
demos at the oral sex class?
No, but I was like doing
Oh, you
things to
didn't-
mangoes, and
I
she
s-
was doing things to I think a cucumber or something.
Cucumbers. Yeah, my first oral sex class, I think the first 2 or 3 had live demos.
Wow.
But come to find out, people didn't want to see guys naked as much as they wanted to see women.
What? That's
Duh.
weird.
Such an awkward crowd if you drop a man's pants and you put a naked woman on a table and they're like, whoa, let's check this out.
I'll pay double.
We got the wrong crowd in here.
Yeah.
But yes. We're here to learn, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
All these classes.
Yeah.
Brad, we may need to do a class. That sounds fun.
I think we have a lot of homework to do.
Yeah.
But I guess the point of this class was it was much slower. It was intentional. It wasn't just focused on particular spots that you might think of. And, I've mentioned things like this on the podcast and people think I'm crazy, but I have the guru here. So I'm going to let her
That's
kind of
true.
talk to you about
You're not
the
crazy.
process.
Not
It's
crazy.
very different than just, hey, I'm going to make out with you, go for the nipple, go for the pussy. It's not like that.
Right. Because typically it's like a few little kisses, a kiss of the breast, a pinch of the nipple, straight to the clit, dun, 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 maybe lick it like it's a Post-it stamp, and you're good, right?
Oh man.
No,
That's fast
far from good. Far from good.
Fast food.
It's like, no, I'm now thinking about like, okay, what's on my to-do list? And did I lock that up? Did I finish the dishes?
Mhm.
Damn, I didn't wash my favorite skirt for tomorrow.
Yep.
Like something, all of those things are going through your head.
Mhm.
And this is us women, our fault for running around like that and laying there and going through the motions with our to-do list. Like that's on us. Stop the to-do list.
Mhm.
If you want a good intimate relationship with your partner and you want to access gourmet sex, gourmet orgasm, and really get fulfilled, you can't be putting together a to-do list.
Yeah.
You just can't. It's like, don't do it.
I know.
If you're in to-do list mode, don't have sex.
Mhm.
You're save it for another time,
Yeah.
right? If you have to drink a bottle of wine to have sex with your partner, you definitely need coaching or therapy. It's like, because there's lots of issues there. You should not have to get in the mood. Having a drink, that's fine, But if you're drinking a lot to get into the mood, then there's other things to deal with. There's different things there.
Yeah.
But And a lot of people say, well, I just can't relax without this, or I need to do this, or I need to do that. And women consistently, just to come back to your point of like, what's masculine, feminine here, male, female. And us women, our hearts are locked up, therefore our sex is locked up. So the polarity, and like in my book that's coming out next month, it talks about polarity. And what we see is an epidemic of fucked up polarity in our world right now, where women don't know how to be women and men don't know how to be men. And it is this dynamic where a lot of women are acting masculine. And I'm not talking about work. And I'm not, we can all, a woman can do a guy's job, a guy can do a woman's job. I'm not talking about the housework. I'm not talking about raising the kids or any of that kind of stuff. It's an energy, right? So to be feminine is more of a sensual, flowy, think the ocean, okay? It's an ebb and a flow, right? And it's very deep. There's a lot of emotion there. And you could get a storm, or you could see the most beautiful fish, right? The great coral reef, or a really nasty storm. That is what women are. A man is very linear. It's more like if you're throwing, what are those called? Like those sticks that you throw, like you throw it and you try to aim at a target. You guys got to help me.
Darts.
I lost my word.
Or dart.
A javeline. There we go. That's
Javelin.
the word I'm
Okay,
looking
okay.
for. A javelin. Yeah. So it's more like if you're throwing a javelin, right? And if a guy is that javelin, you got to give him a direction, right? Give a man a purpose. Give him problems to solve. Give him something to fix. And yeah, sure, he might miss the target, but he is going to do his damnedest to make the target, right? He might fall short. He might go past. He might not hit the bullseye, but he's going that way, right? It's just not to say that men are simple. They really are. Men are really simple.
No arguments.
Right? I was gonna say there's not a whole lot going on up there. There's a lot going on up there, but it's not the same as us women.
Right.
So we're like a pile of spaghetti, except it's all one noodle. It's all one noodle, and it's all tied together. And it's like you go, why is she talking about this? Like we were talking about this, and now she's talking about that, and now she's crying about that, and now she's mad about that, and now she's back to her childhood, and now she's with our kid. And it's like, well, because that's the way we work.
Yeah.
Where a guy, it's more compartmentalized, right? It's like, okay, I'm at work, so I'm dealing with what's at work. Put the work file away. Now I'm at home, and oh, hi, honey, here we go. Oh, I'm going to work in the garage. Oh, I'm going to take care of the yard. It's all these different compartments, right? And that's just the way men and women are. So it's like, that's where, there's definitely male things and there's definitely female things. And in our world today, women are trying to compartmentalize, and they're made to be shamed almost. They're almost shamed around being the ocean, feeling, ebbing, flowing. It's like, what's wrong with you? Are you off your meds today? It's like, it's like, what's going on, right? And guys are being told, oh, you should be more sensitive. You should be more vulnerable, right? Yes, vulnerability with the right people, like your wife, right? There's definitely, you should be vulnerable with your significant other, but being overly sensitive is not going to make her trust you. Coming back to those relationship things, right? Communication and stuff. Well, a man needs to hold a strong point, not just be all over the place. So, yeah. And then around, you come back to that orgasm. It is like, what's she going to open up to? Is a woman going to open her heart to a wishy-washy man? No.
Yeah.
Strong container, right? Be your cock. Strong like your cock.
Be your cock.
Life.
I love it.
Be your cock. Be your cock. Be your cock.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, it's just like, you got to be strong like that. And
I see that.
And a woman needs to, I mean, we are the receivers, right? We're open, and we are what is being penetrated. Sex happens inside of us. sex happens outside of a man.
This aligns really well with Brad's theory that I'm a pillow princess, because I do just want, I want him to be the strong man who tells me what he wants in the bedroom, and I'm just like, okay, thank you. Do what you want to me, love me, thank you.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is something too. I mean, I think a lot of the time the pillow princess gets a bad rap
It
because
does.
it's like, oh, you're just laying there and you're not
Mm-hmm.
doing anything, you're not partaking. Well, there's a big difference between showing that it's really good and touching and being sensual, moving your hips, moving your legs, moving your arms, nails, biting, kissing, breath, all of that kind of stuff, right? The tension in your vaginal canal. Are you tightening your vagina? Or are you just like, bloop, I don't care. Whatever's going on, we don't even know. Like, it's like whatever, throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Like, it's like whatever. I know. I got all the lines. A visual person.
I love it.
So yeah, but if you're like that, then that's more, that's just that boring, that's where the princess, the pillow princess kind of is like, is that what it is? But of just blah.
Yeah.
But if you're interacting,
Right.
that's a completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of women don't interact, right? Because they're busy with their to-do list. And they're like, okay, you do whatever you're going to do. I'm going to put it together tomorrow.
So,
Yeah.
Right?
on your female orgasm class, do you think the experience that the model had to do with her being an open container and present in herself? Was that really the key? Or was it more just the pace and the technique that you were doing? Or was it kind of both? Because obviously she was someone who understood what it meant to just totally let go and be present in herself, which...
Was she a certain redhead?
Yeah.
Okay. She's a certain redhead. Okay. I think it's 3 parts. Technique for sure, because you can be present in yourself all damn day long. If your partner isn't being present, and conscious and doesn't have some sort of skill, because there is skill,
Absolutely.
then you're doomed, right? So you're just being present and able to receive not a whole lot, right? So it's like, yeah. So it's like, yes, your presence matters, but the other person's skill matters. But another piece that you didn't mention in there is trust. So trust has to be there. And yeah, I mean, like, obviously in that demo, in that workshop, working with a colleague, we're friends. We know each other. Even though we're not intimate, we're not, we're not lesbians, we're not in any way like that. We're putting on a workshop for education, but she knew that I had her. I wasn't going to let anything happen to her. And if something came up for her, like a traumatic thing, if I accidentally if something came from like her clit or something in that moment and she started to cry, that I was not going to force anything to happen, right? I was like, whoop,
Yeah.
nope, we're just stopping the show right now. We're going to hold space for you. We're going to, right? And that doesn't often happen in a lot of intimate relationships, because there's plenty of women that'll have tears come from a good orgasm. Those are emotional orgasms. They're phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal. They're some of the most healing orgasms that you can have. I'll send you the link to the article.
Yeah. Send it
But
to Brad.
I was more impressed with the soft skills, just like, hey, I'm moving over here. I'm just going to keep my hand on her to let her know where I'm at. So many soft skills
Right.
that were happening, and you guided us so I could pick up on these things as someone who was observing, but it was just so many things to reinforce your partner, which that's not natural. I mean, for everybody. So things like that are so
Right.
important, and you just don't pick that up unless you're really paying attention.
Well, a lot of the things, like, when we touch somebody, we are making a quantum relationship happen. Okay.
What does quantum
So
mean
we
for
are,
those who might not know?
put it simply, it's the energetic. So it's physics. It's the energy that our bodies are putting out. Everything has a frequency, a vibration. Okay. And we are constantly interacting with our world through our thoughts, through our emotions, and through our physical touch, our intentions too. Okay. So that all plays a role. So we're constantly engaged in our environment. It's like when a couple is together long enough, you can say, oh, well, they can almost take the words out of your mouth, right? But you can look at your kid and you can almost know what's going through their mind. You can look at your dog or your cat and pick up on what's going through their mind too. You can pass a stranger sometimes and be in the best damn mood and then all of a sudden feel like shit. Why is that? It's because the energy is past. We are so much greater than this physical meat suit that we reside in, right? Our energy frequency is way out there, and science is finally catching up to the ancient mystics. Okay.
Interesting.
So that's what the quantum world is. The
Okay.
quantum world teaches a lot of that. And a lot of this that you saw in that workshop comes back to focusing on the heart, right? And focusing on conscious touch. Have you ever had a massage, gone to a masseuse and had a massage and then left the massage feeling kind of yuck or having some negative thoughts or just a little downtrodden or just edgy or something? Even though your muscles feel better, you're emotionally, mentally off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's because when they got to your headspace, that massage therapist, when they got to your headspace, was thinking about their struggles, about their drama, about their pain, their suffering. So they're doing their work, but they're thinking about their crap. And they got into this space where all of a sudden you started to read that space. So you started to feel it. So they basically took a pile of crap and dumped it into your energy space, and then you're feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you leave and you're like, yeah, my back feels better, my legs feel better, but I feel this little agitated.
Yeah.
And you don't have a reason for it.
Right.
And you can thank the massage therapist. They weren't doing their job. They weren't staying present. If you stay present, it's a hell of a lot harder to get caught up in your own crap if you're just present in the moment.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what you saw in that class was presence. So it's like I as the teacher in that moment, I was showing how do you be present. There was conscious touch. So I would take my hand and place it on the model's chest. And I would take a breath and she would take a breath. Right. So we're linking the breath together. Now, granted, our breaths do that naturally when we're sleeping next to somebody, when we're close to somebody. But in sex, often we can be in different rhythms. If we start out and at least consciously try to connect, and if we slow down that beginning process, that's why in Tantra you do a heart connection. You might do eye gazing. You bring your hands to each other's chests and you breathe, right? And then there's slow touch. You're working with the limbic system. You're working with the vagus nerve, okay? And this is the limbic system tells us that we're safe or not, okay? And that if we just go from kiss, kiss, kiss to, oh, I'm going to rub your clit.
Yeah.
The body says, what the hell is going on?
I'm not ready.
I'm not safe.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. And so you have this fight or flight that kicks in. The hypervigilance takes over. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, but you're supposed to be ready for, penetration.
Yeah.
No, that's why you slow it down. More touch, more conscious touch. Enjoy each other's bodies without the penetration and without the genital connection or the hand to the genitals or the mouth to the genitals. Let the mouth go to the arms, to the inner thighs. Tease. It's teasing. That's really truly what it is. It's just tease. Run your tongue up and down your partner's leg, across their butt cheek, across their belly, right? Make them want it. That's how you build a desire. And yeah, you don't have to do 5 minutes of it. You can play with it. Do it for 2 minutes, right? Don't set a clock. God, I just want to set a clock.
That is very type A.
I feel like I need to say that for somebody out there. Do not set a clock, okay? Don't be like this client.
Okay, so I can already hear some of my friends' voices through the microphones, saying like, I don't have time for that. I'm stressed at the end of the week, at the end of the day, whatever. So like, do you see? I guess I'm kind of thinking for myself too. There are some times where I feel like I need to kind of disconnect from Brad, from the rest of the world around me. Like, I think I've tried meditation before, just to kind of disconnect from life. But I also kind of needed to disconnect from him too. I think maybe because I'm bucketing him with all of the other things going on in my head. But I think for some of us tired moms, hearing like, have him lick your leg or things like that, where I'm kind of like, I already know, I can hear some of my girlfriends being like, yeah, I don't have the mental capacity for that sometimes. When I know we're gonna have sex, it's Saturday night, it's our time that we usually have together without kids, blah blah blah. Like, how can we try to proactively get ourselves there and not rely on our partner to do it for us? I think it kind of has to be our own decision, our own choice.
There's multiple things going on in my head. What to start with? Yes, there is a do it for yourself. Turn on happens inside your own head first. Paint some sexy fantasies in your head.
Okay.
Imagine how you want to be touched. Do that every single day of the week before you walk out that door, before you turn on the computer, before you pick up the phone. Give yourself 3 minutes of the best erotica in your head that you can come up with.
I like that. That's fun.
Okay. Just do that while you're taking your morning shower. Have some erotica going in your head.
Is that what you do with the bottle of conditioner, Brad? We've established that his shower time is his fun time.
I've been preaching this for months now. Every shower, baby.
Slow down your morning routine. If it means that you have to get up 10 minutes earlier, do so. Slow down the morning routine. Take your time. Put it, a lot of women put an oil on their legs or a lotion on their legs or bodies, but they just quickly go through their body. Well, you don't want your guy touching you like that. Slow the fuck down with yourself. Take the time for you, right? Don't just jump in the shower and quickly speed through, throwing the soap all over you. Run the soap bar down your leg like it is a tongue going down your leg. Enjoy your own body. Become more present, because the more present you can be in those little moments, and it's literally 30 seconds here, a minute there, right? Do 25 Kegels at every stoplight.
Ooh,
when you're driving.
That's a fun game. Okay.
Every stop sign, every stoplight, 25 Kegels. Okay. Right? A healthy, engaged vagina is going to be a vagina that is ready for orgasm. You're going to be closer to getting an orgasm than a vagina that is just ignored. Right?
Yeah.
Take time for yourself. Masturbate at least once a week. With more than a vibrator. Oh. Get yourself a good dildo, a good glass one, a good stone one. Stay away from the rubber and the plastic, because they will cause you different infections. Okay. They're no good. Something that you can put in your dishwasher is great. Craig pulled 2 of them out the other day. We were having sex, and he grabbed some of the glass dildos, and then I was just being lazy, and I didn't want to hand wash them, and he left, and I'm running around and I'm cleaning up the house. I'm like, fuck it, there's no kids in the house today, I'll just throw them in the dishwasher. And so
they've probably never been cleaner.
The dishwasher, and he pulls 2 dicks out. Seriously, but he opens up the dishwasher to help me. He's unloading the dishes, and he's like, what can I say? I could do like 5-10 things here. Come on.
That is
But
impressive.
seriously, something that doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff, like the different like silicone ones and the different softer tissues, as nice as they are to be more realistic, they do carry bacteria in them. So yeah, so glass or stone. But take the time as a woman to slow down once a week at least, and lock yourself in your bedroom, and yeah, touch yourself the way you would want to be touched. Become more present. And work on that G spot, because if you work on the G spot with a dildo, what's going to end up happening is you're going to help remove some of that callus, as I refer to it. So the trauma that can be stored there, the different things, so that you have more feeling active. So when you're with your partner, he doesn't have to work as hard, right? So as I think of it kind of like the reason I refer to it as a callus, because if you've ever been, I had a family member that was a baker for like 40 years, and his fingers were just calloused. He could just literally reach into the oven and pull something out without a mitt
Wow.
because his hands were so
Oh,
calloused. And now I think of him every time I give a discussion about a G
yeah.
spot. Because honestly, I see his hands. It's those calluses, and that's what happens to our G spot, is that it just ends up calloused, and we have to work the callus off. It's basically scar tissue that you've got to just massage out. And so you can't expect your partner to come along and be able to, just, lick a little here, suck a little there, some finger action, a little bit of lube, and bam, bam, oh, you're
Right.
great. And it's like, well, you didn't take long enough. Yeah, well, you're also really, shut down is what it is. So it's that heart genital connection again, but you've got to have the genitals ripe and open and healthy. So if you're numb, there's pain involved. You got to go numb, pain, then pleasure. If you're kind of painful, because there's a lot of women that have pain in their vaginas in different ways, you're a step closer than the person that's numb. So there's the good news, but you got to push through that pain. Pleasure is around the
Okay.
corner. And then it is learning how to open up. And there's a lot of like, have those difficult conversations, communicate about things. Hey, I really need you to slow down. I'd really like to try this out. I'd really like to try that out. I'm not in the middle.
Yeah.
And I don't want to treat this as a chore. I want it to be, I need you to wine me and dine me this week. I need you to buy me flowers.
Yeah.
I need you to rub my back because I'm really freaking sore. I didn't have time to make it to a masseuse, or I can't afford it, or
I
whatever.
keep offering.
It's
I
like,
know. He got a massage table and everything, and we've used it, once?
Maybe once.
Maybe once or twice. I know. I know.
yeah,
I'm just,
yeah.
it feels like a lot of work. I already have a lot of work throughout the week, I'm a busy mom.
It doesn't have to
Oh
be work though.
no.
Make it playful.
Yeah.
Make it playful. And really truly good orgasm. It's something, yes, that happens in just a few minutes, really, right? It's just a few seconds. And you go, why is it such a big deal? I can live without it, whatever. And us women, we get to that point. Like a woman, this is why women can be nuns.
Yeah.
Because if a woman goes long enough without, I have an article for this one too. What we can learn from the Catholic Church, I think it's called, or something like that. Sex lessons from the Catholic Church. I grew up Catholic. So, but yeah, we start to numb out, and what ends up happening though, when our sex shuts down, our heart will follow. So it's like, you've got to keep that sexual energy active in a woman. Guys, you're luckier here. Like you can access it easier. The heart though, you can shut down and you can be very separated from things. But us women, like a guy's going to have an orgasm, right? He doesn't even have to like the woman, think she's hot or anything. He can do it. He's going to walk out a winner. A woman, on the other hand,
So much harder.
no. And we can be like, I'm having some guilt sex here. I feel bad for him. It's duty sex. Is that blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, yeah, sure. Maybe you can get a clit orgasm going and it's like,
Mhm.
like not a big deal. And you're like, don't really want to do that
Yeah.
again. But you really gotta have the heart in
To
it.
crave it.
And that's where I think a lot of,
Yeah.
to crave it. But you get the heart in it by the play every single day. So it's like, if you're wondering, how can I do this? Why is it it doesn't have to be that big chore on Saturday, right? Or whatever your day is, if it's the once a week. It doesn't have to be a big chore. And you can get more of those days throughout the week if you take the time to be more playful consistently throughout the week. So it's like, instead of the text messages, and I'm going to hit that because it's like everybody texts, oh, bring home the milk. And we need milk, bananas, strawberries, grab some dinner. Like, oh, we're out of toilet paper and dog food. Okay. What builds desire in that conversation? Right? It's like, and if you read through most people's text messages, like that's the majority of it, right? Or they're mad at each other, or they're sending a link or something, right?
Brad just sends me
So it's
okay or yes. That's the text
that's totally
messenger
Guy.
he is.
That's Guy. Yeah, that's just a man. Guy does that too.
So as you can see, when I first met Rene or first went to her, I knew that she had some faith background and she was a sex coach and her articles were really interesting. But as you can see, once I got to working with her, I got confronted with all kinds of wrong thinking and things that I had never even been exposed to. So I know this episode has gone fairly long, but I definitely want to remind our listeners, there's a whole lot more behind Rene than what you've heard right now, and there's links below. We'll definitely have to have her back because I feel like we're just starting the conversation and it's really just getting interesting. I definitely want to be respectful of everyone's time, but man, we've loved having you here. Man, I feel like you're an old friend that we could keep talking to, and I feel like it's just starting to get good, but I guess we'll wrap this one up, but we definitely want to have you back. Addy, before we close this out, is there any final questions or anything else you want to know before we close this out? Because I know Renee's on a roll here, and I hate to interrupt her because I could listen to this all night.
I know.
Good.
Yeah, we definitely have to have you back because this has been so exciting for me, and I feel like I am on your couch. So that's amazing. These are things that I just would never have really thought of, but this is why we're trying to have these conversations. We're just trying to put it out there and make it where it's not so weird to talk about our sex life and our sex drive and all of that. Okay. Any guests we've ever had, we have a vault question. So we're going to wrap up with the vault. And it's going to be personal. I
Sounds
know.
scary.
It sounds scary.
Okay.
But
I'm sweating all of a sudden. Okay.
If we can make her sweat, this
that's
is huge.
amazing. That's pretty good.
No, I sweat horribly. I get some sweaty palms when okay. Okay. Go ahead, sure.
So our vault question for tonight: what is the most exciting thing you and your partner have done recently in bed to spice things up?
All right. Well, he licked my asshole.
There you go. Oh, Brad is so excited to hear that. Oh my gosh.
He is so opposite of me. I'm like out there and we'll talk about things, and he's so introverted and so sweet. I love him to death. But no, like he'll be like, I'll be like, hey, that's what you get for being with me.
All right, I'm putting this on repeat for Reagan because, I've been trying to convince her of some of these things. I also bought her the glass dildo, and I can't convince her to use it because it's like, it's hard. It's not as soft,
Yeah.
So maybe this episode will convince her.
Oh, I
So
love it.
Tell us again, what's the website? What's your website?
All right, website is kendallwilliams.com. 1LKENDAL,
Okay. Okay.
Kendall. And then Williams, just spelled Williams.com. And then you can find me on Facebook as well. And I'll give you the link for that because Facebook's got all the,
Right.
numbers and
Right.
stuff
Awesome.
attached. So
Oh, I
Well,
love
so
it.
great to have you. I feel
Yes.
like I'm talking to an old friend. It's been way too long.
Thank you so much.
absolutely. Yeah.
This has been so enjoyable, and just getting your perspective on. I mean, we had a wide range tonight, but getting your perspective on each of these things has been so helpful, and I
Yeah.
hope it
I'm
brings
hoping
up.
you understand me a little bit more because everything I say, you guys act like I'm crazy. So maybe I'm a little less crazy now.
Same amount of crazy, Remy. Same
Yeah.
amount. Now you just have backup. I'm just kidding. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Renee, and we hope that this brings up so many other conversations for the rest of you out there, all of our listeners. We are wishing you all the very best of your own suburban sex.